People, soldering up your battery connector. So, along with your power distribution board, you should have 2 power wires, black and red one, 2 pieces of heat shrink, and the connector. It's got a long end, which is the actual connector, and a short end, which is where we're going to solder. Now, the difficult thing with these connectors is you need to be quick. Too much heat and this connector starts to melt, and basically you're going to have a bad day. So first thing we need to do is strip the ends of these wires. You need to strip pretty much exactly as much as you can see, which is only about 4 millimeters. So just break the insulation up, tear it off. You see there, it's pretty much exactly what we want. Twist the end of the wire so it's going to behave, and like every other wire we've done, pin it down and clean soldering iron, get it all tinned. We want the solder to run through that wire like a river. There, you can see there's just a healthy little, you can't see anything. You can see a healthy little drop on the bottom there. That wire is ready to go. Now, if you look from the back, this flat bit here, this is positive. The one that points vertical is negative. Positive is red, negative is black. The positive, we have to be careful. We solder it onto the bottom side here. If you try to solder it onto the top side, it's going to be way too close to that negative. If you short these batteries out, you could make fire. And apart from the fact that fire's cool, you won't have a battery for your drone, and yeah, sad face. So, we're going to solder, we've got the black one ready, we are going to solder the black wire, which means we need this connector pinned down really well. If you're not confident that you can pin it down well using the tools we've got, get a friend to help. Just like we did with the PDU, we need to tin this bit here, make sure there's some solder on there, and then we'll join the two nicely. So, gold plated, it should take the solder really well. Just feed some solder in quickly, fill up a nice blob there. Make sure there's a bit of solder on the soldering iron. Then we hold our black wire on, we heat it up, and just keep holding till it sinks. Once it sinks, hold it on till it sets. It will get really hot really quick, so be careful. And then inspect the joint. It should be nice and fat on both sides and fully connected. If it doesn't look perfect on both sides, yell out for some help. Once black guy's done, put it down because it is really hot. And then we can work on the red one. Again, take off just a little bit of insulation, just enough to match the connector. Then pin the wire down while you tin the wire. Clean the soldering iron. Here we go. Tin, tin, tin. Oh, I didn't twist it. Shame. For shame. Can we cut that? Sure, we'll cut that. Get some solder into it. Once it's flowing through the top, move the iron underneath. Make sure the solder goes the whole way around. Happy, happy days. Once that's done, pin this guy down, or girl, I don't know. It can be whatever it wants to be. Let's solder the top of that, get a nice bubble happening. Make sure there's a bit of solder on the soldering iron, and then we're going to melt these two together. Bloop. Wait till it sets, and take a look. See, the solder went all the way down on both sides. It's all glossy and bulbous. That is perfect. These are probably the most important connectors in your drone. These ones carry the most current. So, wait for them to cool down, and then we can put the heat shrink on.